Find a way that you can sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Feel the parts of you that are connected to the floor, rooting down to the floor. Feel the parts of you that aren't touching the floor, rising up from that foundation. Let your hands rest softly on your thighs or your knees. Palms down if you're feeling like you need a little bit of grounding. Palms up if you feel like you need to receive. Need a little bit more energy. So wherever you are, the rooting down of the seed, the growing through the spine, start to notice your breath. And let the breath be in the belly for today. As you inhale, puff the belly, let it expand forward. And as you exhale, navel draws back towards spine. And just take a few more breaths here, allowing yourself to settle, allowing yourself to arrive. Take one more big breath in, and one more big breath out. And then gently start to blink your eyes open. And then as you inhale, press the back forward, arch to the back for a cow, like a cow spine in a seat, but let it originate from the back pressing forward. And then come into a cat spine, but again, let it originate from the belly button drawing back. And then cow spine, back presses forward. Cat spine, belly draws back. One more time like that, middle of the back, pressing forward, the lift coming from the back body. And exhale, the drawing back coming from the front body. And then make your way just back up to a neutral spine, back is long. Inhale, reach both hands up to the sky, just take a big breath in, reaching high. And exhale, let your hands come back down towards the ground. And then inhale, reach your right hand up and over towards the left, taking a nice stretch in right side body. Ground down through the right hip as you reach through the right hand. Inhale here, you're breathing into the ribs, opening through the heart. And exhale out. Rise back up so that you're vertical, but reach your right hand straight out to the side, thumb facing up. And then start to reach your arm straight back. Like you're walking through a doorway and your arm gets stuck like on the door frame. Like you're pressing your hand into it. And then actively reach through the hand, reach the fingertips away, so you're like pulling your arm a little bit out of the socket. And then draw the arm back, maybe a little bit more. Bring your left hand, bring it to your ribs. Notice if they're splaying forward, notice if you're arching through the back. Can you draw your low ribs in? Can you sit up tall? Can you draw the belly? Spin your palm up towards the ceiling, thumb faces back. Maybe you reach a little bit more. Maybe draw the thumb back a little bit more, stretching through the front of the chest, the connection from the chest to the shoulder. Good. And then bring your arm back so it's straight, coming straight out of the shoulder. And then spin your palm forward and then down. So you're rotating your arm all the way around. So your palm comes to face the ceiling again, but this time with the whole shoulder roll forward. And then notice if you've collapsed through the chest, can you broaden through the collarbones even as the right shoulder is rotated forward. And then maybe you reach the thumb back a little bit more, the arm comes behind the body. Bring your right hand to your left hip, like around your back, and then interlace your hands and bring both hands, the one fist together, on the left hip. From there, draw left ear towards left shoulder. So you're leaning your head towards the same direction as the hands are on your hip. Stretching through the right neck. Start to tilt your neck down. And then tilt your chin up towards the ceiling. If that feels okay and you'd like to add a little bit more additional stretch, reach your jaw forward like you have an underbite. And then let that go. Release your hands back down by your sides. Inhale, reach your left arm up and over the left ear, taking a nice stretch to the left side body as you lean towards the right. You can inhale, draw the fingertips out longer. Exhale, soften the chest. Rise back up to vertical. Reach your left hand straight out of the left shoulder, and then start to press the left hand back behind you. Just start to open through the connection of the shoulder to the chest. Reach through the fingertips, draw the arm away from you. And then again, press back. Create the space as you reach. And then soften into the space, reach back further as you exhale. Start to tilt your thumb up towards the ceiling. Again, reach and draw back. Notice what's happening in the ribs. Notice if your whole torso is turning. Can you draw your ribs back to center? Can you reach a little bit more through the thumb? Okay, bring your arms straight out from the socket. Again, spin your palm so it comes all the way down and then reaches all the way up towards the ceiling so that the whole head of the left shoulder rolls forward. From there, can you broaden through the collarbone? So even though the shoulder is rolling forward, you stay open through the chest. Reach your thumb back behind you and then sweep it all the way around to your right hip. Interlace your hands on your right hip and then lean your right ear towards your right shoulder. You breathe into the stretch through the side of the neck. Tilt your chin down to stretch through the back left side of the neck. And then start to tilt your chin up to open through the front of the neck, the throat. If you'd like a little more, start to reach your jaw forward like an underbite, increasing the space, the stretch in the front of the throat and the neck. And release that. Reach your hands back behind you. Fingers face towards your seat. Uncross your legs, bring your feet to the floor in front of you. And then as you inhale, press into hands and feet. Lift your seat up for an altar pose. You can keep your head with just an extension of your spine if that feels good. You might let the head just drip off the spine towards the ground, again stretching through the front of the throat. You can rock gently back and forth here if that feels good. Gently lower your seat down to the ground. Cross your shins, roll over your shins. Make your way into a tabletop position. Hands directly under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Set yourself up well. If you like additional padding under the knees, you might choose to take that. As you inhale, find a cow shape. Again, find it by the drawing down of the back. And then as you exhale, pat spine, but find it from the pushing up of the belly. Again, cow spine, the back draws down. Here we hold down towards the ground. And then exhale, pushing up from the belly, find your cat spine. Then make your way back to neutral. Reach your right leg back behind you to the tip of the toe. Just take a moment here to pulse through the heel, stretching through the back of the leg. And then lift your leg so that it's parallel to the ground. Draw the belly and zip up. Take a moment to push the floor away with your arms so that you start to round through upper back, protracting the shoulder blades, moving them away from each other. Inhale here. As you exhale, knee into belly, scoop up, draw closely together. Inhale, stretching out long. Exhale, knee draws in. Use the belly to press the thigh towards the chest. One more time, inhale, stretch out long. Exhale, knee comes in. Push the floor away, scoop up so much that you can step the right foot forward. From there, climb your hands up onto your right thigh. Start to press the hips forward for Anjaneyasana. Take a moment to open through the front of the left hip flexor. And then press into the heel, draw yourself back so that your hips are in line over your knee. And then take a moment, scoop the tail under, a little tuck of the tail. And then from there, again, start to press the hips forward. Notice the difference if we change the position of the pelvis. Soften your hands down towards the ground, start to draw your hips back, flex through the right foot for a runner's lunge. Heart reaches forward, try to stay broad through the collarbones rather than collapsing forward. Reach the heart forward. Flex through the foot, stay active through the body. Rebend your right knee, ground through your left hand, peel your right hand up to the sky for a twist. And then spin your left shin so that it's parallel to the top of the mat. Reach your right leg up and back for the supported Ardha Chandrasana. From there, you might reach your hand down towards your right hip, bend the right knee, maybe reach back for the top of the foot. And for today, can you draw the heel towards your seat, press the hips forward. Release the foot, release the right arm long out over right ear, and then right hand comes down to the ground, right knee comes down to the ground, press back for a child's pose. And for today, let your knees be close to each other so that the back rounds over the legs. Inhale, press back up to hands and knees. Inhale, stretch your left leg long back behind you. Tuck the toe, pulse through the heel. Shift your weight back over hands and knee. Lift the left leg so that it's parallel to the floor. Reach to the heel, reach to the crown of the head, draw the belly in. Inhale here. Exhale, knee towards your chest, scoop up and in. Inhale, stretching out long. Exhale, scoop up and in. Inhale, stretching out long. Exhale, scoop up and in. Scoop so much, lift so much that you can step the left foot forward. Walk your hands up onto your left knee and then just soften the hips forward. Just noticing the stretch in the front of the right thigh. And then press into your left heel, come back up to vertical. Take a moment, tuck the tail, scoop the pelvis under you, and then with that position, move forward. Just notice how we can change where we direct the stretch from the position of the pelvis. Place your hands down to the ground, start to press your hips back, flex through the left foot for a runner's lunge. Again, notice if you have the urge to collapse through the back, kind of round. Can you draw the heart forward, try to stay really broad through the collarbones, flex through the lengthened leg. And all the while, let your breath be fluid and long. Rebend the left knee, ground through the right hand, peel your left hand up to the sky, just an easy twist. Ground through your right hand, spin your right shin so it's parallel to the top of the mat, and then sweep your left leg up and back so that it's parallel to the floor. Stay right there, reach your left hand down by your left hip, bend your left knee, draw heel towards your seat, and then draw your heel towards your tush. Press the hips forward. So a little different than how we would normally press foot into hand. Release the foot, stretch left arm long out over your left ear. Good. And then just sweep your hand down to the ground. Left knee comes down to the ground. Press your hips back. And then you can stay in a child's pose again if you like. Or you can start to walk forward for a puppy pose. So you might start to inch the fingers forward, drawing your chest onto the floor as your hips lift over your knees. So whichever feels better for you today, either the child's pose or your puppy pose. Your forehead might come down to the ground. Eventually, maybe your chin might reach forward. And then walk your hands back. If you're in that puppy pose, make your way to tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a few moments here, pedal through the feet. Press the hips back, bend your knees, rise up onto your tippy toes. Push your hip into your hands so you get really long through the spine. And then from there, start to soften your heels down. Keep the length in the spine. Start to pedal your feet towards the top of your mat, arriving in a forward fold. So separate your feet about hips distance apart wherever you feel stable. Bend your knees enough that the belly can really soften down onto the thighs. Arms just reach down towards the floor. They can just be soft like a rag doll. And then as you feel ready, draw the belly in to support the back. Slowly roll your way up to stand. Finding yourself in Tadasana at the top of your mat. You could take a moment, roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Just allow yourself to arrive in your body, arrive on your feet. On your next inhale, sweep your hands up to the sky, gather all that energy, and exhale, pull it down to heart center. Close your eyes, take a big breath in here. And exhale, take a big breath out. Inhale, reach your hands high, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, pour all the way down to the ground, Uttanasana. Inhale, take a big step back with your right leg for a low lunge. And then exhale, press into fingertips, left foot meets right, and downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple forward to a plank pose. Take your time, arriving like a wave. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly, body is long. Inhale, shoulders roll back, heart reaches forward, baby cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift up and back for a downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, step up between your hands, bring your back knee down to the ground. Inhale, hands reach forward and up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands come down to the ground. Inhale, tuck your back toes, straighten both legs, Parsvottanasana. Exhale, step your left foot to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand, both hands reach high. Exhale, pour all the way back down to the ground. Inhale, left leg steps back, low lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog, right foot meets left. Inhale, ripple forward, arrive in one piece. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Inhale, shoulders roll back, heart draws forward. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it between your hands, right knee comes down to the floor. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, thumbs lead, heart lifts. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, back toes tuck, both legs straighten. Exhale, step to the top of your mat, fold in. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand, both hands reach high. Exhale, pour all the way back down to the ground. Inhale, right foot steps back, low lunge. Exhale, step back to a plank pose. Belly draws in, push the floor away. Taper one more inhale here. Exhale, shift forward, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, roll shoulders back, collarbone wide. Exhale, hips up and back, down dog. Inhale, lift the right leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it between your hands, back knee lowers. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, hands lift up. Exhale, hands come back down. Inhale, Parsvottanasana, straighten both legs. Exhale, meet yourself at the top of your mat, fold in. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand, both hands high. Exhale, pour all the way back down to the ground. Inhale, left leg steps back, low lunge. Exhale, plank pose, right foot meets left. Push the floor away, belly draws in. Stay for one more inhale, feeling your strength. Exhale, shift forward, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, wide through the collarbones. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it between your hands, right knee to the floor. Inhale, rise up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands come back down. Inhale, Parsvottanasana. Exhale, forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, rise up to stand, hands reach high. Exhale, pour all the way back down to the ground. With palms on the ground, inhale, reach your heart forward. Exhale, bend your knees. You can step back to a plank pose and lower, or maybe you hop back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. Take a few moments here to connect back to the breath, to feel the pushing away of the floor, the pressing down of the finger pads, the reaching high of the hips. Stay for one more inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward to the top of your mat. Inhale, hop or step your way forward. Exhale, bow into yourself. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand, reach your hands high. Exhale, sit back, Utkatasana, chair pose. Belly draws in as your hips draw back. Reach through the fingertips, reach them away from you, and then draw the thumbs back. Stay for one more inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up, reach your heart halfway. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, make your way through your choice of vinyasa. So either the hopping back or the stepping back, chaturanga or to the belly, up dog or baby cobra, your choice, your flow. Inhale, lift your right leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it between your hands, seal your back foot down, rise up, warrior one, both hips facing forward. Give yourself a little space between your feet, and then reach your hands high. Notice if the right hip wants to reach forward, can you draw it in as left hip reaches, or can you draw your right hip back as left hip reaches forward? Press down through the feet, make really solid footprints with your feet on the mat. But take one more inhale here. And then as you exhale, start to shift your weight into your front foot. Spin up on your back toes. Draw left knee up and towards the belly so it's in line with left hip. But bring your right hand to your left knee as left hand reaches back towards the back of your mat. Let your shoulder draw back, the whole unit of the left side, from middle of the chest through the fingertips. Good. And then make your way back to center, both hands reach high. Exhale, slowly lower your left shin all the way down to the ground by bending slowly through the right knee, moving with control. From there, find the tuck of the tail, start to press the hips forward for your Anjaneyasana. And then reach through the fingertips. Let your shoulders come up towards your ears. Let the shoulder blades move with the arms. And then as you exhale, draw the thumbs back. Take a moment, gaze up at your fingertips. Inhale, reach your hands high. Exhale, thumbs move back, let the gaze follow. Inhale, reach. Exhale, draw the thumbs back, gaze follows. Good, bend a little bit more deeply into your front knee. Exhale, lift all the way back up. Bring your hands down to the ground and then draw the hips back, straightening through your right leg, runner's lunge. Reach the heart forward. Shoulder, collarbones are wide. Rebend your right knee, bring your right foot to the floor. Tuck your back toes, Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. Straighten through the right leg, draw the left leg long as well. Bring your right thumb to your right hip crease. Take a moment, spiral it back. Get right through, along through right side body. Keep reaching through the crown of the head. Press into your hands to create that traction. Bring your right hand to the inside of your left foot. Your right hand to the inside of your right foot. And then start to walk your hands towards the left. Spin your feet so that your toes are facing the long edge of your mat. Take a moment here, walk your hands forward along through the spine, and then exhale, forward fold, prostrate Padottanasana. Walk your heels of your hands towards the heels of your feet as you draw the crown of your head towards the ground. Take a big inhale here, and a big exhale out. Notice where the weight is landing in your feet. If it's really far back in the heels, can you send it forward? Press into the outer edges of the feet, widen through the hips, widen through the back body. Press your feet down, get really strong through your foundation. Sweep your hands behind your back, let them interlace behind your sacrum. From there, soften the basket of your hands towards the ground. Bring your hands back down towards your sacrum, reach long through the spine, rise all the way up to stand. Spin your right toes towards the top of your mat, left heel angles back, and then bend the right knee towards a warrior two stance. Bring your interlaced hands onto your right hip, and then look towards the right. Stay broad through the collarbones, open through the chest. Soften your right forearm down to right thigh, sweep left arm up and over your left ear, extended side angle. Draw the right hip back, keep reaching long through the left fingertips. So you're creating this long line of energy from the blade of the left foot all the way through the left fingertips. Draw the left shoulder back so it stacks on top of right, press right forearm into the ground to create a little bit more space between your right ear and your right shoulder. Stay exactly where you are, extend the right arm as well, parallel to the left. Inhale here, and exhale out. Inhale, press down into your right foot to straighten the leg, rise up. Again, sweep your hands behind your back, catch the interlace. Stand up nice and tall. And then exhale, move your right shoulder down towards your right toes, coming into a triangle stance, but with the arms reaching back behind you. Only come as low as you can with the arms reaching straight back. Hold there and then release the arms. Resist the urge to reach your hand down to the ground at the expense of the length of the right side body. You might gaze up towards the left hand. If that doesn't feel good on your neck, you can gaze down at your right hand or your right foot. Bend your right knee, bring both hands down to the ground, and then ground into the left hand. Step your right foot back and place it on top of your left foot as you spin onto the outer edge of the left foot. Peel the right hand high, Vashisthasana side plank. Inhale here. Exhale, right hand comes down to the ground, lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg high. Exhale, step it between your hands, seal the right foot down, rise up, warrior one. Again, both hands reach high. Really find your footing here. Press the feet down into the ground. Let the energy rise back up into the body. Draw your right hip forward, draw left hip back. Reach through the fingertips, get long through the neck. And start to shift your weight forward into your left foot. Draw right knee up towards your belly in line with right hip. Sweep your right hand back as left hand comes to the outside of your right knee. And then reach the right shoulder back. Let that be where it opens. Press your right knee into your left hand back into right knee. Inhale, spiral all the way back towards center. Exhale, slowly bend your left knee, placing right shin on the ground behind you. Try to take your time, lower with control. And then inhale, tuck the tail, press the hips forward for Anjaneyasana. Take a moment here, notice what's happening in the body, just come back to the breath. And then inhale, reach your fingertips up, let the shoulders come up towards the ears. Exhale, draw the thumbs back. And then look up at your hands, let your gaze find your middle finger. Inhale, reach higher. Exhale, draw back, let the gaze follow. Inhale, reach higher. Exhale, everything moves back. Good. Use the belly to draw yourself all the way back up. Bring your hands down to the floor. And then start to press your hips back, runner's lunge. Flexing through the left foot, collarbones are wide, heart is open. Rebend left knee, tuck right toes, Parshvottanasana, pyramid pose. Walk your left hand to the inside of left foot, and then continue to walk your way towards the long edge of your mat, towards a forward fold, wide straddle fold. Interlace your hands behind your back. Let the basket of your hands start to reach down towards the ground as your belly draws your crown of your head down towards the floor. Reach your hands back up towards the ceiling and then lift your way all the way up to stand. Spin your toes towards your left toes towards the top of your mat, angle your right heel back, and then bend left knee towards a warrior two stance. From there, bring your interlaced hands onto left hip and then gaze towards the front of your mat. Keep drawing the right shoulder back. Release your left forearm onto left thigh, sweep your right arm up and over the right ear, lengthening long through right side body. Notice if this causes you to collapse in the left shoulder or collapse in the left side body, can you press down into the left forearm, create a little bit more length, snuggle the left hip back, and then open right shoulder on top of left. Extend your left arm as well, both hands reaching towards the top of your mat. Press down into your front foot, rise all the way up to stand, and then sweep your hands behind your back, catch the interlace. Inhale here. As you exhale, start to angle upper body towards the top of your mat. Find that edge where you are at your longest, and then just release the arms. And wherever the arms fall, let them fall. Let them reach. Resist the urge to go for the pose at the expense of the breath or the length of the spine. Good. Soften your front knee. Bring both hands down to the ground. Ground into your right hand. Spin onto the outer edge of your right foot. Step left foot on top of right. Vashisthasana, side plank. Exhale, both hands come down, lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, lift right leg high. Exhale, step it between your hands, rise up, warrior one. Inhale here. Exhale, angle forward, press press down into your right foot. Lift your left knee towards left hip. You can come into that same twist with a knee bent, or you might reach down for the outer edge of your left foot. Press the foot forward as left arm reaches back for Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana C. Keep drawing the left shoulder back, reaching the left foot forward. Release the foot or the knee, just come back to the front of your mat. Bend your left knee, open it out to the side, maybe lift it a little bit higher, and then place your foot, your left foot on right leg. Resist the urge to reach down and fix it with your hands. Let the legs do the work. From there, sweep your hands behind your back, catch and interlace. Open through the space of the heart. Start to draw your left knee forward, and then exhale, press back, warrior three. Heart reaches forward, let your heart be up and open, look forward, look up, rather than down. Slowly step all the way back to the ground, release both hands high. Exhale, bring your hands down to the inside of your right foot. Heel to your right foot a little bit wider. Bring your back knee down to the ground for a lizard lunge. Reach your heart forward, press the hips forward. Stay right there or ground through the left hand. Peel your right hand up to the sky for a twist. Stay there or start to bend the left heel towards your seat. Reach back with the right hand to catch the foot. Decide what's more interesting to you, to draw the heel towards your seat or to press the foot away. You can stay up on your left hand. If you feel like you want to go a little bit deeper, left forearm might come down to the ground parallel to the top of your mat. Wherever you are, just connect to long, slow, fluid breath. Good. Release your foot down to the ground. Bring both hands to the inside of right foot. And then tuck your back toes, lengthen both legs, Parsvottanasana with a little bit of width between them. Again, you can hop your back foot forward if you like. Notice the right hip, snuggle it back. Wherever you are, press your feet firmly down into the ground. Let that be your foundation. Draw the belly into support, and then lift your hands to heart center, getting long through the spine so that it's more parallel to the floor. Good. Inhale, rise up to stand. Exhale, open warrior two. You might lengthen your stance if you like. Inhale, flip the front hands, hip back, peaceful warrior. Exhale, extended side angle again. Forearm might come to thigh. You're feeling a bit warmer. Hand might come down towards the ground. Left hand reaches up and over left ear. Again, snuggle the right hip back. If having your hand down on the floor is causing your left shoulder to come down towards the floor, lift up. And then from there, press down into your right heel, straighten the right leg for a triangle pose. Reach both hands high. Rebend the right knee, both hands come down to the ground. Bring your back knee down to the ground. And then rise up to stand on back knee, bring your hands to heart center. Start to twist towards the right, and then lean forward, hook left tricep on the outside of your right knee. You can stay right there. You might tee the hands wide, bringing your left hand down to the floor on the outside of your right foot. You might, from there, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Keep snuggling the right hip back. Release the twist, bring both hands back down to the ground. Standing split, shift the right foot under you, lift the left leg high. You can stay right here working on your balance, maybe walking hands back towards your right foot. Or you might walk the hands a little bit forward, maybe playing with a few little handstand hops, seeing how it feels. When you're ready, we'll meet in a low lunge. Ground through your left hand. You can step back to that regular Vashisthasana side plank, or maybe the right foot will step onto left thigh for Vashisthasana with a tree pose variation. Take an inhale here. Maybe you take the tree as you come back to your plank pose. Maybe you keep the tree as you lower Chaturanga. Inhale, both feet come down for your up dog. Exhale, hips back, down low. Roll forward to a plank pose, lower your knees to the ground, and then soften your way all the way down to your belly. Reach your hands back by your sides, and then reaching through the toes, press down into the floor with your pubic bone. Draw your belly in. And then as you inhale, lift everything up. Hands reach back, shoulders lift, chest lift, head lifts, toes, knees, and then thighs lift off the ground. Squeeze your tush to lift your legs higher. Inhale here, lifting up. And exhale out. Stay where you are. Maybe interlace your hands behind your back and then reach the basket of your hands back towards the back of your mat. Stay for one more big breath in. Exhale, soften down to the mat. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Press back to a child's pose. Take an inhale here. Take an exhale out. Shift your weight back to your hands, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg high. Exhale, step it between your hands. Inhale, warrior one, back heel seals as both hands reach high. Then take an inhale here. Exhale, shift your weight forward, draw right knee towards your belly. And then either left hand comes to the outside of right knee or left hand comes to the outside of right foot as you draw your right hand back towards the back of the mat. Stand up nice and tall, press down into your standing foot. Release your lifted leg, reach both hands high. And then bend your right knee, draw it out to the side. Maybe you lift up a little bit higher and then find the inside of your left thigh with your right foot. Resist the urge to fix yourself. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, sweep your hands behind your back. Catch the interlace. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, draw your right knee forward and then press it back, warrior three. Stay really lifted through the chest as your right leg reaches back. Slowly soften your foot down to the ground. Reach your hands high. And then exhale, both hands will come down to the inside of your left foot. You can heel toe your left foot a little bit wider. Gently deliver your right knee down to the ground. Ground down through your right hand. Peel your left hand up to the sky. And then stay there, or maybe you draw your right heel towards your seat. You reach back with the left hand to catch the foot. Stay there, or bring your right forearm down to the ground, parallel to the top of your mat. Do what helps you stay more open in the pose. From there, make the choice of what feels more interesting, drawing heel towards your seat or pressing foot into hand. It's all the same line, it's just a different part of the line that receives the stretch. Gently release your foot if you have it. Bring both hands down to the ground. Straighten both legs, Parsvottanasana. You hop the back foot in, sealing down through the heel of the back foot as heart reaches forward. And really find your feet here. Press them down into the ground. Let that rooting down allow you to lift the upper body. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, lift all the way up. Reach your hands high. Exhale, open warrior two. Then inhale, peaceful warrior, step up and all the way back. And then exhale, again, extended side angle. You can come down to forearm. Your hand might come down to the floor. Make the choice that allows you to keep right shoulder on top of left shoulder. Spin the ribs forward. Start to press down through the left heel to straighten the left leg for a triangle pose. Reach the right hand high. Take an inhale here. And take an exhale out. Bring your right hand down to the ground. Swivel both hips forward. Bend your right knee down. And then rise up to stand on right knee. Bring hands to heart center. Twist towards the left. Hook right tricep on the outside of left thigh. Press your tap hand into your bottom hand. Really snuggle right armpit towards right knee. And then if you like, you might bring your right hand down to the outside of your left foot. Reach your left hand high. From there, maybe you tuck the back toe, lift the back knee. Snuggle your hips towards each other. Get long through the spine. Release both hands down to the ground. Shift your weight forward, lift the right leg, standing split. And stay here, working on balance, or maybe you walk the hands forward, maybe you play with a few little handstand hops. When you're ready, you make your way down to a lunge. Ground through the right hand, swivel onto the blade of the right foot. Stack the feet or left foot finds right thigh for a tree pose, Vashisthasana. Exhale, left hand comes down to the ground, but you keep the tree as you lower Chaturanga. Both feet come down for your up dog. Hips up for your down dog. Roll forward to a plank pose, lower down to your belly. This time, maybe you bend your knees, your heels draw towards your seat. Press the pubic bone down, draw the belly in to support you. Maybe you reach back with your hands for the tops of your feet or your ankles. Again, pressing the pubic bone down, drawing the belly in. Start to kick the feet back, opening through the space of the heart. Lift the knees, the thighs off the ground. And then pretend like somebody is sitting on your feet. Try to draw your thighs down towards the ground, keeping the lift. Release the legs into Shalabhasana. Exhale all the way down to the ground. Bring your hands down on either side of your ribs. Shift back, child's pose. Shift forward, hands and knees, tuck toes, lift hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg high. Exhale, step in between your hands, rise up for a high lunge. Both hands reach high. Exhale, sweep your hands behind your back, catch and interlace. Inhale, open through the heart here. As you exhale, shift forward, warrior three. Lift the back leg, lift the heart forward. Stay right there, or maybe start to bend your lifted leg, drawing your toes towards your hands. Maybe you find the foot behind you. From there, pressing the foot into your hands for a standing bow practice. Gently release your foot all the way back. Just come back to that high lunge. Exhale, hands come down to the floor. And then just step your right foot back, make your way through a vinyasa. And we'll just do that on the other side. Left leg reaches high. Exhale, step it between your hands. Rise up, high lunge. Interlace your hands behind your back. Open through the space of the heart. Start to shift your weight forward. Find your warrior three. Lift, lift, lift through the heart. Lift, lift, lift through the leg. From there, bend your foot. Maybe reach back. Find the foot with your hands. Press the foot into the hands Reach the heart open. Lift the leg with the touch. And then slowly release, step back, high lunge. Exhale, hands come down, step back, lower. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Start to roll forward into a plank pose. Bring your knees down to the ground. Shift your hips back towards your heels. Just come to sit on your calves. Take a moment, close your eyes, come back to the breath. Slowly shift your hips over to one side. Make your way onto your back. Step your feet towards your tush so that you could graze the backs of your heels with your fingertips. And then start to press down into your feet to lift your hips high. You might stay where you are. You might walk your shoulders under you, finding that interlace underneath the body. And then from there, press down into the heels, lift the hips high, draw the chest towards the chin. And breathe. Slowly release, rolling down, walking your shoulders out from under you. And just take a breath here, breathing all the way in. And breathing all the way out. We'll take one more active back bend for 5 breaths. It can either be Satya Bandhasana bridge pose we just took, or if you'd like to take Urdhva Dhanurasana full wheel, hands come to either side of your head, draw elbows towards each other. Wherever you are, press down into the foundation, your feet or your feet in your hands, lift up. 5 breaths. When you're ready, tuck the chin, lower yourself down, upper, middle, lower back. Widen your feet as wide as your mat. Let your knees windshield wiper left and right, left and right. The next time they fall to the right, let them fall all the way to the right. Bring your right foot, hook it on top of left thigh. Let the left thigh be heavy down. If that doesn't work for you, lose the wrap of the foot, just stack knees. Notice if your left shoulder is connected down to the ground. If you can, round it down more. Hands can be out to the side, they can be on the belly, they can be teed, they can be cactus. Start to explore what feels good to you in your body. Draw the left knee back up towards the ceiling, keep the hook of the right foot, and then draw left thigh in towards the body. You can interlace your hands behind the belly of the hamstring or the front of the shin. As you draw the left leg towards you, can you press the right knee? Round down through the sacrum, round down through the shoulders. Release your left foot down to the ground, cross your right leg over your left, scoot your hips to the right, and then soften both knees towards the left. Again, grounding down through right shoulder. And bring both knees back up towards the ceiling and both feet to the floor. And then widen your feet again as wide as your mat. Let the windshield wiper left and right. And as they fall to the right, let them fall all the way to the right. Take your right foot, hook it on top of left thigh, let it heavy down, round through left shoulder. Bring the left knee back up towards the ceiling, keeping the hook of the right foot. Then draw left thigh in towards the body. Interlace your hands behind the hamstring, in front of the shin. Really ground down through the sacrum. So if your sacrum starts to lift off the ground, just back off. Press your right knee away. Gently release left foot down to the floor. Let the right leg wrap around left. Scoot your hips to the right, and then let your knees fall to the left. Bring your knees back up towards the ceiling. Take a moment, just feel your back on the floor. Draw your knees into your chest and then gently rock and roll your way up to sit. Bring your soles of the feet to touch, but then widen them in front of you, reach them in front of you so it's more of a star shape than a butterfly. From there, sit up nice and tall, and then like you're rounding over a beach ball, allow yourself to round the spine forward. We've been doing so much extension of the spine, allowing in a few moments, just in a nice, curved, flexed position. And send your breath into your back. Fill up your right wing with air. Fill up your left wing with air. And fill up both wings full with breath. As you feel ready, make your way into Shavasana, either lying down on your back, if you prefer to take a seated meditation, again, setting yourself up in that really rooted seat, and then reaching through the spine. Whatever would serve you best this morning. Gently start to notice again your breath. Notice the physical body. And start to bring a little awareness to your fingers and your toes. And start to wiggle them. And gently rock your head from side to side. As you feel ready, make your way onto your side, curling up like a little ball. And then as you feel ready, press your way up to sit. Again, finding that really rooted seat, pressing down of what's touching the floor, the reaching high of what is not. Bring your hands together, right palm presses into left, left into right. Thumbs pressed into chest, chest rises to meet the thumbs. Take one more big breath in here. And as you exhale, just bow your head towards your hand, taking a moment to seal in your practice, thanking yourself for the gift of